So it was an absolute pleasure to welcome onto the show a childhood hero of mine, and I have to be totally honest, when I envisaged a meeting with this guy, it would be in some sort of military setting, not in a cafe. It's finally happening now anyway. It's time to welcome the man, the legend that is, Mr. Dirk Benedict.
Thank you. A military compound? No, it would be with a beautiful girl on my arm, with sitting in some nice bar, restaurant, trying to seduce a beautiful woman.
But whenever I saw the A-Team, Mr. T and you were my two favourites. Like I said, you were the bit of the ladies' man, weren't you, on the A-Team? Right,
I was. It was a difficult job, but somebody had to do it, so I did. It actually got to be kind of a chore. Because I had to look so nice all the time. We worked outside in the wind and the rain and the thing and the this and this. And I had to always be fairly coiffed. You know, he was a bit of a peacock.
Yeah.
Face man. Yeah.
So we'll get on to the A-Team in a few moments' time, but the reason that you are here, you're actually touring at the moment. Columbo is what you're doing. Now, I was told a fact about this. I don't know if it's true. You've never actually seen the TV show Columbo.
I know. I didn't know whether to say that or not. I decided, well, I might as well tell the truth because people keep asking me about the show, and I had to admit I never watched one episode. So when I got the script, I just read it. It's a wonderful part. And I've been wanting to do something on stage again. It's been a long time since I started on stage, and then so I thought, well, I'll do it, but I'm just going to play this part the way I would do it, and then that's pretty brave, actually.
It is, because it's an iconic role, isn't it? It's an iconic TV show.
But I did Starbuck at Battlestar Galactica, and they turned him into a girl, so they didn't worry about Dirk Benedict when they played Starbuck, and I don't think they're too worried about Faceman in the new movie, so why should I worry about Columbo? You
weren't too happy about that, I believe, were you, when they changed that?
It wasn't personal, it was just I'm not happy with them taking, forget the fact I was involved, that they take a family show like that and turn it into a dysfunctional, disenchanting, kind of totally different television experience. It's not really a family show anymore, the new one that they made, and to take that archetype character, that playboy, it's throughout theatrical literature, this ladies' man who and turn him into a girl. I mean, it's an insult to what went before.
Do you get much feedback from fans who have actually been offended and not like the change in that character?
Oh, I do. Although most people, they said they weren't going to watch it, but I think everybody did. Everybody became big fans of the new show. I didn't care. It just, to me, it was it was all politics. It's showing the disintegration of morals in our society today. And all the men in the new show, the Battlestar, were weak, and all the women were strong. Ours was a male-dominated show, Battlestar. And the A-Team, forget about it. That was the last real masculine show made in American television without a female star. Now all of television, it's all about women. It's the female perspective. It's female-driven. We were all guys all the time doing what guys did. And you can't find that on screen.
Well, talking of remakes, of course, the A-Team movie. How do you feel about the remake?
I did that little brief thing. I met Bradley Cooper and the other guys. They were all very wonderful, and it's a huge movie.
We managed to catch up with Mr. T last year, and he was very vocal in the fact that he does not like the remake.
Oh, I agree with him, but that's the business model today. It's like there's too much money in it. They're going to get all these fans of the original to go, and they know if they market it enough, if they do enough marketing, it'll be cross-marketed with Pepsi and Coke, all the big franchise foods and stuff, and so every former fan in the world will have to see this, so they can make $200 or $300 million in 2 weekends or 1 weekend. And what do they care? What do they care what Mr. T or Dirk Benedict thinks? And that's all it's about. They're not sentimental. These are Cambridge, Oxford business guys. They're all they care about is money. So from that standpoint, it makes perfect sense. And then you don't have to be creative, really. You just get something that somebody else thought up, somebody created, and then you just take it and you repackage it and put new things in it and put a new thing, wrap it around and say, oh, new and improved. There's only one Mr. T.
Oh, there is, and you don't want to upset him.
There's nobody that can play him. I mean, what are they going to do? B.A. Baracus. That was Mr. T. He dressed like that in real life. He didn't do any. I mean, he just came on the thing and off and on. He showed up with dressed. That's the way he walked around in real life in those days, with the feathers and the earrings and the mohawk and the Mandinka haircut. So You know, and that's the way I was in real life. I really did get all the ladies, and I really did dress like that, and I really did have the Corvette. That's not true. I was acting like crazy. I never got a girl in my life until I
But surely the show helped, because even now, like when we mentioned that you were going to be on the show, the amount of ladies who got in touch who actually wanted us to get signed stuff. I had someone begging me to bring their 1983 A-Team annual with me today for you to sign.
If I had 10 quid for everything I've signed it, yeah, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
Now, because you weren't in the pilot, were you, to the A-Team? Someone else was in the role as Faceman.
That's too big a story to go into. I'm going to save that for my next book. I've written 2 books, 2 autobiographies. I'm going to write a 3rd one. But actually, NBC was the network. Yeah. This is back in the day. There were only 3 networks, NBC, ABC, CBS. So when you had a hit show like we did, there's 30, 40 million people watching every night, every time you went on. But no, it was written for me by Stephen J. Cannell. He saw Starbuck in Battlestar, and he loved that. So he said, that's the guy. I'm going to write this Faceman character, Templeton Peck, for him. He'd be perfect. And the network refused to hire me. They didn't like me. Networks never liked me. Never liked me. Creative people did, but the networks, they wouldn't hire me. So they wanted that other guy, so they hired the other guy. And it didn't really work. Once they hired me, it worked. It wasn't that I was so brilliant, but it was the chemistry. The chemistry between the 4 of us just was spectacular. We were, from the minute we met, we were clicking.
I've got to say, though, because it's quite legendary, the sort of feuds that went on between George Peppard and Mr. T. What was it like being in the middle of that?
It was just, I'll write about that. It was hysterical. Dwight and I would know how to laugh or cry. It was funny. T would laugh all the time. And it was sort of like not real, you know. It was serious for a brief moment in time. And they worked it out, and we all went on. And it was fine, but we were all very strong personalities. Yeah. So it wasn't like we argued and fought all day long. It was like on the show. We pushed and shoved and fought, and it was like it was a free for all. And George was fighting. You know, he wanted certain things. And it was hard for him that T was so famous. I mean, we got mobbed everywhere we went, and T was really the big name in the show. And that upset George a little bit. And it sort of came from that. And I think George, wanted certain things that weren't happening. I don't know. It didn't really matter. It all worked out. We all parted. We were still in love at the end.
What was it like, though? Because, I mean, it was, for me, the biggest TV show of the 1980s. It must have just been amazing. As you said, there was only a few networks in the States. Were you aware how big it was all around the world?
No, nor how I would never have thought I'd be talking about it 25 years later. We were sort of insulated. We went out, we were on location, we were not at a studio, so we just went out and did our job, and we worked so long. I would leave the house at 5 in the morning, get home at 8 o'clock at night, and have something, go to bed, get up early.
What a job, though. I mean,
it was a grind, except I couldn't wait to get there, because I loved the guys, and we had so much fun. We shot our guns, and it was fun. We were always out. It was the best. It was great. We all liked it. George got very tired the last 2 years because it was tough. Yeah. So his part got smaller, Hannibal, and Faceman's part got bigger because I started carrying the story. But in Hollywood, we were not liked. We were not a show that they respected, even the networks. So it was very political. So we were not famous in Hollywood. I was never offered movies or more TV shows or anything because of the A-Team. As a leading man. It would have been if I'd have been in a show like Cheers or Friends or all those politically correct shows. They hated us because we were 4 guys. The liberals of Hollywood, be like the Labor Party. We were politically incorrect. Even then, it was the beginning. We were a Republican conservative show. We were a Tory show. Yeah. We were sort of, with the cigars and the guns, and it was all guys. So they tried to get us off the air. Liberals, they started writing campaign in the schools. Biggest union in America is the teachers' union. Biggest union. It'll dwarf any union in the UK. They started in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. They got kids to write letters to NBC trying to get us off the air. Because you know why? We were violent.
Yeah, but the one thing.
So this is all very silly now. But it's not. Now it's even worse.
See, it shocks me actually hearing you talk about the A-Team this way, as the way it was viewed by the American TV executives.
Politics is very powerful.
But I mean, in its day, some of you had some big guest stars as well that were on the A-Team quite a bit. The likes of everyone from Boy George to Hulk Hogan was another one.
Hulk Hogan. We had a number of them. I'm kind of blank, but of course my favorite guest star was Fred Astaire. He on the Battlestar. He played my dad.
Oh.
That was a great experience. We did a 2-hour, and he played my dad. That was great. But yeah, no, well, don't be surprised. Look, Ronald Reagan was president, and he adored the show. Mr. T played Santa Claus in the White House. Yeah, Nancy and Ronald Reagan, they loved Mr. T, and they liked the show. But we were conservative. You know, it was a moral show. It was a little morality play. We got the bad guy every time. We took the law into our own hands and went and got him. We didn't care. Well, you can't do that. That's judgmental. That's now it's all. They hated that. Hollywood hated that. The networks hated that. The people, and the women, the feminist movement came after us big time. I was not liked because I played that character. I played that guy who every time he saw a girl, he just wanted to get her in bed. Well, you can't do that. Isn't it silly? It's silly, but it's a reality now. You do not see a television show in America without women starring in it and driving it. All those CSI shows, they got a main guy, but they have a girl that's equal, and
it's like, I mean, it's in a way sort of similar with radio to the way we're styled. We're told you're broadcasting to this particular female.
That's why I don't do much. They'll clean it all up. Oh, we can't say that. I get edited like crazy, so I don't do these recording things very often.
No one censors the face man.
No one censors Jeff Nolan. No one tells Jeff Nolan how to do his show.
Yeah, see, I'm in the A-team now, boss. Right. If you listen to this, I've got the face man with me.
Well, we were all very outspoken guys. That was the other thing. You just talked about Mr. T, talking about the A-team remake, and we're not shy guys to express our opinion. And Dwight Schultz is even more outspoken than either of us. Very political. We are very smart people.
Yeah.
And very, very grounded in terms of our own values. We're family guys. We're deep family, traditional family.
To me, you just mentioned Mr. T.
That's why that show had such family values. We went out of our way. Mr. T loves children. I dedicated my life to raising my children.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, I can't think of many better positive role models than Mr. T. In the 1980s, right. It was all about, being nice to your mother and, making sure you stay fit and healthy. And it just shocked me, really, that the negativity towards the show that you've got. You're saying about the backlash in America, because obviously over here I just saw it.
I just saw an interview with Emma Thompson, very famous thing. She was talking that she was sick and tired of the traditional nuclear family.
Yeah.
She thought that was just. Can you say bollocks? She said it was it was just nonsense. She was sick and tired of that. Now that's Hollywood. They're sick and tired of that traditional stuff. Oh, the man and the wife, and it's like there's no difference between two guys getting married, two women getting married. It's all the same. See, and there are people that don't believe that it is very different. So anyway, so don't be surprised. You're living in a country that's drowning in political correctness.
Thank you very, very much for talking to us today.
You're welcome. Oh, one more thing. Nah, I can't say it. No, forget about it. Oh, one more thing. No, that's it. That's the end.